Hi there, welcome to my channel where I dive into fascinating economic trends and analyze their impact on society. In recent years, the phrases, quote, isolated from the world or, quote, is isolated from the international community have become almost a refrain in US foreign policy rhetoric, especially in reference to nations like Russia that fall outside the traditional orbit of Western alliances. For example, US President Joe Biden has frequently asserted that Russia is isolated from, quote, the entire world due to its actions in Ukraine, implying that global consensus lies squarely with the Western position on sanctions and condemnation. Biden's remarks suggest that the global community stands uniformly in opposition to Russian actions. Yet, this narrative overlooks significant global dynamics, especially as evidenced at events like the BRICS Summit in Kazan, Russia in 2024. At this gathering, leaders from major emerging economies, including Brazil, China, India, and South Africa, not only engaged directly with Russian leadership, but also discussed plans for economic cooperation that defy the sanctions imposed by the West. Let's pause and reflect. Do visit our website where I curate news and publications from international financial organizations and world central banks. Please also subscribe to this channel and be informed whenever we publish a new video. BRICS Kazan 2024 highlighted a crucial aspect of the global political landscape, a multipolar world where countries are increasingly asserting their independence from Western influence. The Kazan Summit served as a platform for Russia and other BRICS nations to explore alternatives to the Western-dominated financial systems, including measures to counter the dominance of the US dollar in global trade. One key proposal was the development of a BRICS currency, envisioned to facilitate trade among member states without relying on the dollar, effectively weakening US economic control over global transactions. Although logistical challenges remain, the push for, quote, de-dollarization reflects a strategic goal to build financial autonomy from Western economic structures and sanctions enforcement mechanisms, allowing member states greater control over their economies. The BRICS nations represent almost half the world's population and have vast resources and economic influence, challenging the narrative of Russian isolation. Brazil, for example, has been outspoken in its commitment to peaceful negotiations in the Ukraine conflict, but it has not adopted Western sanctions, citing a desire for neutrality and strategic autonomy. India and China, too, have pursued their own policies regarding Russia, with China explicitly increasing trade ties with Russia and India balancing its relations with the West while securing energy imports from Russia to meet domestic demands. In addition, African, Latin American, and Asian leaders have increasingly questioned the alignment between US foreign policy interests and their own development goals. This divergence suggests that the term global isolation may be more reflective of US and NATO priorities than of a truly global consensus. In fact, many countries perceive Western policies as intrusive or dismissive of local issues, prompting regional coalitions like BRICS to advocate for alternative international frameworks. The Kazan Declaration, a central outcome of the summit, reaffirmed BRICS' commitment to a multipolar world order. It criticized the US for using sanctions as instruments of political influence and outlined a vision for reshaping international governance to increase the voices of emerging economies. To this end, Russia promoted the idea of a, quote, BRICS Bridge, a blockchain-based payment infrastructure designed as an alternative to SWIFT, which would bypass Western financial systems, enhancing financial independence for member countries. Additionally, the expansion of BRICS membership at the Kazan Summit to include countries such as Argentina, Egypt, and Iran indicates a clear geopolitical shift. This move strengthens BRICS by adding more voices from the global south, challenging Western dominance by building a broad coalition of countries with diverse yet often overlapping strategic interests. This alignment helps Russia not only sidestep Western economic isolation, but also strengthen diplomatic and trade relations in regions historically influenced by Western powers. As BRICS expands its partnerships and explores new avenues for cooperation, such as a common payment system to reduce dependence on the dollar, the notion of isolation grows increasingly complex. In a world where alliances are not solely defined by Western principles, BRICS Kazan 2024 serves as a reminder that geopolitical influence is fluid and that emerging economies are playing a decisive role in shaping a more multipolar global order. The US and its allies may claim global consensus, but the actual geopolitical landscape, as evidenced by the growing influence of BRICS, is far more nuanced. The reality is that Russia's ties with BRICS nations and other non-Western countries signal a shift toward a global framework less beholden to Western policy dictates, reflecting a world where multiple perspectives are gaining recognition and influence. The Kazan Summit marked a substantial step toward challenging US hegemony, fostering an alliance of nations seeking greater sovereignty from Western economic and political systems. The outcomes from Kazan demonstrate Russia's ambition to reshape its international alliances and weaken the impact of Western sanctions through BRICS, positioning itself as a leader within a growing bloc that seeks to redefine global power dynamics. That's it for today's video. I hope you found this analysis insightful. If you did, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more engaging content like this. As always, I appreciate your support.